In today's video, I'm going to talk about one of my new favorite neighborhoods in and around Williamsburg. It's called Newtown. This one is really unique. I'll tell you why. We're starting right now. Hey, my name is Sam Sansalone and I'm a real estate agent in the Hampton Roads area. Today, we're talking about Newtown. This is a very, very unique spot. I don't think there's any other place anywhere in Hampton Roads, any of the cities, that has what Newtown has. It's so unique. Now, we're going to talk about the neighborhood itself, the real estate, where this kind of neighborhood originated, what's inside of it, like lifestyle, shopping, restaurants, everything inside of it, and what it's near. Now, I also want to talk about some drawbacks to this area because it is not all awesome. Just like anything else, there are negatives and you need to know the negatives too before you make any decisions. So you'll get a full perspective if you do think that this is a good place that you might want to live. So Newtown's a new development. What was here before? Well, actually this was just a bunch of farmland. This area was only developed in the past 20 years. And so you'll see, as you drive through here, you'll notice all types of different style condos and townhouses and single family houses that have been built ever since the early 2000s. So the person who designed this, his name is Paul Milana. He's an architect in New York. So his concept was that a lot of the developments in the late 20th century, they were designed with the idea that you have to have only one type of use in a smaller enclosed space. And so this area, like when he developed this, he did it with the intent to make sure that all types of amenities and shops and housing could all be in the same area. That was kind of different than what you might expect at that time. So back then, a lot of things were intentionally separated, like housing, industrial, commercial, grocery stores, restaurants, they were all separated. And so you had to figure out, okay, if I wanted to live in a neighborhood, what could I walk to, what could I drive to relatively quickly? But this incorporates all of the things you might need in your life into one spot. So where is this area located? Well, it's just due west of Colonial Williamsburg itself if you're looking at the proper Williamsburg map. But if you notice on the map, there are two main roads to mention. One is Pocahontas Trail, Route 60, but also going west, you have Route 199, which is the Hummelzine Parkway. That is kind of like the outer loop that I kind of see of the most central part of Williamsburg. And so Newtown is inside between both of these roads, but it's in close enough to where you're only going to be taking, highway or side roads to get to, for example, other parts of Williamsburg, Colonial Williamsburg, etc. So you're not too far away from most of the rest of the activity in Williamsburg. Now, how far is it away from other things? So for example, you're again 10 minutes away from Colonial Williamsburg itself. Going from Newtown to Fort Eustis Army Base is about 25 to 30 minutes or so, but going to Langley Air Force Base in Hampton is about 40 to 45 minutes or so in the southeastern corner of the peninsula where Hampton is. Now, I normally would talk about the real estate separate from the things to do in the restaurants, but because of the type of area this is so unique, I'm going to talk about all of it together because it is all incorporated in the same spot. So if you drive through the neighborhoods, I kind of showed you as I'm doing all these drive-throughs, a bunch of different spots in this area, and they all feel similar in one way. They're very clean, very orderly, but also different because there are different types of houses in here. You've got a lot of townhouses, some condo neighborhoods as well, and you've got single family houses too. So there are a lot of neighborhoods in here. Now there are a couple that are condos, but most of them aren't. And so these neighborhoods look like they're pristine, they're well kept up. So it makes you think that they're condos because a lot of times people do maintenance for condos in the exterior, so it always has that similar kind of uniform feel to it. But these areas were kept up very well, but they're not condos. Most of them aren't condos. There are a couple. Bennington and Foundation Square are the two neighborhoods that are primarily condos in Newtown. Otherwise, I think there's like 14 different neighborhoods or sub-neighborhoods in Newtown. Places like Charlotte Park, Shirley Park, Woodsview, Village Walk, Roper Park, Chelsea Green, Savannah Square. There are so many neighborhoods in here ranging in sizes from small condos, couple bedrooms, one or two baths, up to larger houses in these 3 to 4 bedrooms. And you see those big ones in the back there. So you got different sizes, different price ranges. These condos, some of them will be in the mid 2s, and then you can go up well over $400,000 or $500,000. Some of these though are like 3 or 4 bedroom single family houses. Some have garages too, but those bigger houses can be 5, 6, getting close to $700,000 at that point. But even though most of them are not condos, you are still paying into an HOA, and that HOA cost in different neighborhoods costs different. So you could be paying $100 in some, $125, $125, $150, up to somewhere around $200 a month for these HOA. It's easy to think that if you're buying in one neighborhood, you're going to get the same amenities in each place. That is not the case. Some of them you get a pool and playgrounds, and then others you may also get a trash pickup as well. So there are some, the condos will have trash pickup, pool, playground, you get the ground maintenance, the exterior insurance and all that. In Bennington, you get security as well as an exercise room. You also get an elevator in a couple of these spots. Now with the real estate, you can see literally, you're looking at the real estate in some of these houses, you can literally walk right across the street and get to some of the great restaurants. There's some chains, there's also some local places, a ton of them. There's places like Blaze, Paul's Deli, Opus 9, Fa 79 is right as you drive into the main square of Newtown. You'll see that right there. There's even a Buffalo Wild Wings in there. Also the Corner Pocket, which is on a corner, thankfully. A bunch of stuff all through there. If you like Kava, even Kava's in there. But then if you want groceries, Trader Joe's is in here, for goodness sakes. You got neighborhood Walmart, Bath and Body Works, Fresh Market, you have Vitamin Shop, World Market, Home Goods. I mean, look at all this, Old Navy. And you can walk from some of these townhouses over to shop. These are the amenities that really make this so unique. You can't find this anywhere else. Then you've got a Regal Cinema right in the middle of the square as well. And that leads me to the next point, which is that they try to make this a community-focused area. So you've got different events that come up during the year. You got Santa that comes in. You've got a holiday market during Christmas time, all in this town square area. Another thing they had this past year was the Williamsburg Beer Fest, which they had in Newtown. Some music that plays often right in front of the theater. And that theater is big. And again, all this literally walking distance or bike ride or a short car ride from your house. And they have a well-run Facebook page that gives you up-to-date information on events, things going on in Newtown, pictures. You can just see just kind of the happenings in the community. You can go to the bank in Newtown. You can go there's 2 gyms in Newtown. Medical care. Everything you can think of that you need could be right here, and if not right there, literally down the street. If you want to go out, you can venture out. You're only 10-12 minutes away from Colonial Williamsburg. You can also get towards the Colonial Parkway all the way up towards Yorktown Beach, which you're about 20 plus minutes away to Yorktown Beach. Now, for the negatives. Williamsburg's a nice area, but it is not nearly the same size as, for example, Virginia Beach, Norfolk, other parts of the South Side and Hampton Roads, or even into Newport News and Hampton. It's just more of a relaxed, laid-back area. And so if you do come for this type of feel, know that the rest of Williamsburg just doesn't have this, like the hustle and bustle that you might be hoping for if you do come here. It's a nice town. It's got college elements to it, like William and Mary. Also, a lot of retirement plans are made around Williamsburg. So there's that there, but again, there's no real downtown, like for example in downtown Norfolk or even downtown Virginia Beach. If you do want that element, you might be disappointed with what's outside of Newtown itself. If you do plan to look in Newtown, just make sure you do a broader scope of the entire area so you know what is around you as well before you make any big decisions. And another drawback, if you want a lot of yard space, most of these areas, these neighborhoods don't have a lot of yard space. And if you notice, some of these have like back alleyways where garages are. There are very few that have a decent sized yard, and that's what you're going to be giving up for the price that you're getting everything else for. So if you don't want that closed in feel, you don't have that for the entire neighborhood, but you'll have it in some specific neighborhoods. It'll feel like row houses. They'll just feel more closed in. So if you don't like that, it might feel too cramped for you. If you want to know more information about Williamsburg, you can click here for the next video. If you have any other questions about Newtown or any other areas around Williamsburg or south towards Hampton, Newport News, and the south side of Virginia Beach, you ask me any questions you like. If I can help you relocate to this area, I'd love to do that. You can reach out to me at any time. I have my contact information in the description. I'll do whatever I can to help you, and I will see you on the next video.